I don't know if you've seen it or not. Eric Holder has already been shaking down the banks on this. Folks, they're reinstituting this. They're doing it all over again, this time under the auspices of Dodd-Frank. They're replicating it under the guise, this time they're being open and upfront about it. The first subprime mortgage fiasco, there was never any of this. We're going to make sure that we got people that can't pay the loan. There was none of that. Now they're being upfront and admitting that that's what they're doing. And here are the last two paragraphs of William Tucker's story, The American Spectator. With the current administration in power, the perception is growing among minorities that everything in the economy is rigged against them, but that Obama and his regime are going to solve everything for them. That's exactly right. That's what Obama out there saying, you didn't build that. You didn't make that happen. That's exactly what that's all about. Exactly. Obama is essentially trying to tell minorities, and I think everybody who's in economic straits, that they've been screwed since the founding of this country. This country's been run by the 1% ever since the days of the founding. The current incarnation of the 1% of the Republicans and Mitt Romney and Wall Street guys. And they got rich unjustly, unfairly, immorally. They didn't pay you for what they took from you. They didn't pay you for the work that you did. You made it possible for them to get rich, and they did nothing but screw you. That's exactly what Obama's doing. That's his whole campaign. And Tucker says that the perception's growing among minorities that everything's rigged against them. Of course, they've always believed that. And that Obama and his administration are going to solve everything for them. For instance, there's a scam going on around the country right now where con artists call up homeowners and tell them that Obama has a new program. He's going to pay their electrical bills. We told you about it. You remember that? This is a scam. It happened during the power outage in the great capital of this country, Washington, D.C. and Maryland. And at the time, people started calling up and saying, Obama wants to pay your electric bill. This is going to make sure that the power company continues to have power so there won't be any more power outages. All the homeowner had to do was provide his social security number and other personal information. It was an identity theft scam, which we told you about. It started in Michigan, among minority populations in depressed cities like Flint and Grand Rapids. It's now spread as far as Florida and Mississippi. More than 2,300 people in Michigan were bilked out of $1 million. And they were told specifically Obama was going to pay their electric bills. Not the government, Obama. And they believed it. And you know full well that there are a number of minorities who thought that that's what Obama's election meant. Now, as Tucker points out, what's amazing is that all these people actually believe Obama's ready to pay their electrical bills. It's symptomatic of a rising tide of dependency and the growing sense that nobody has to be responsible for anything anymore and can live all off the rich. And he said, if we don't get these people out of office soon, there isn't going to be much left to pick over in the American economy. By design. It's exactly what's happening. Now, talking about loans here and how easy they're going to be to get. This is interesting. I saw this last night. Congressman Mike Kelly, Pennsylvania, Republican, got a standing ovation while he spoke in the House. That doesn't happen. No applause is allowed members of Congress. The president could go in there and, of course, they raise the roof. But the protocol does not permit applause, standing ovation, this kind of stuff. He got a standing ovation for what he said. And there's a visual here that I want you to have while you listen. He holds up a stack of papers, 1,100 pages, and it's lending requirements. And what he's on the warpath here about how regulation is killing jobs in his district. And it's an amazing story. Somebody built a ballpark in his district, Little League ballpark, and federal regulators came in and wouldn't open it. Wouldn't allow it to open on the day they'll play the first game. Little kiddies are all there, about to have their first baseball game, and they said, nope, you can't open it because the mirrors in the men's room were 1/4 of an inch too low on the wall. We've broken this up into 3 sound bites. Here is the first.
We renovated a ballpark in my hometown. A guy named Tom Bernatowski, veteran. $2 million to renovate our ballpark. The day we were going to open up, I got a call at the dealership and said, Mike, would you come down? I said, why? What's going on? He said, we're having trouble with the occupancy permit. So I went down to see. I said, so what's the problem? He said, well, here, come in the men's room. Let me show you what the problem is. I said, we have 1,500 people want to come see the opening ball game. They say, yeah, but we got a major problem. You see, the mirrors in the restroom are 1/4 of an inch too low. So you can't possibly open that ballpark.
Can't possibly open it. Here's the next bite.
So you want to know the price of regulation? You want to talk about the thousands and thousands of pages that we put on the backs of the job creators? You want to talk about creating jobs in America? When you want to see a nation that doesn't want to participate but wants to dominate in the world market, then let them rise. Take the heavy boot off the throat of America's job creators and let them breathe. The jobs we are talking about are not red jobs or blue jobs. They are red, white, and blue jobs. They are not Democrat jobs or Republican jobs or independent jobs or libertarian jobs. They are American jobs.
You know what's amazing about this to me? Is how infrequently stuff like this is said in the House of Representatives. This is so unique. Talking like this, apparently so unique, doesn't happen very often in the House of Representatives, that it gets applause, that it gets a standing ovation. One more soundbite.
We are so out of touch with the American people. And you know what all this does? It adds layer after layer after layer of cost. And that cost is ultimately paid for by the American consumer. You want to have more revenues? Then let the tide rise for all boats. Let us be able to not only survive, but to thrive. I urge all my colleagues on both sides now, this is not a left or right issue. This is an American issue. I urge you to rise today and vote for H.R. 4078. Let's let America get back to work. And with that, I yield back.
He started out there was a motion to recommit that he started up. This is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Now, you know what strikes me about that? What you just heard, and what you say every day to your friends, is what we all talk about amongst ourselves. A member of Congress finally starts talking about this stuff, and why it blows the roof off the place. Why do we don't hear this kind of talking here before? It's only one thing I would disagree. I know the point he was trying to make, and I understand why he said that there's no red jobs or blue jobs or whatever. But the bottom line here is that we are in this mess because a particular ideology has taken us in this direction and delivered us here. With the assistance of the Republicans by not stopping it, by not trying to stop it, even in some cases. That is Congressman Mike Kelly, Republican, Pennsylvania. Romney has an ad called It Worked. You know what's happening to people appear in Romney ads? They're being harassed. This guy Gilchrist that appeared in one of Romney's ads within the past 10 days in New Hampshire is being harassed on the phone and not threatened yet, but he's being harassed. People that raise money for Romney, people that donate to Romney are being harassed by the regime, by Obama soldiers. Just want you to know that, and these people are not backing down. The donors, the people appearing in the commercials, they're not backing. Yeah, I get to Romney in the Olympics. It turns out he was right, and it wasn't that bad a thing to say anyway. You know, if you can't go someplace and be honest about something, what's the point? He wasn't being insulting. This is political correctness run amok. You can't come over here and tell the truth. What are you talking about, Mr. Romney? Who do you think you are? Come over here and tell the truth. Romney has an ad in response to Obama saying, we tried our plan and it worked. That's the next one. The first Obama soundbite that we've been playing, you didn't do that. You didn't build that. You didn't make that happen. And then running around and saying it worked. We tried our plan and it worked. Listen to the ad Romney's team put together off of that.
We've tried our plan and it worked. That's the difference. That's the choice in this election. That's why I'm running for a second term.
You know, I had to file my own personal bankruptcy. I had to close my business.
I've been looking for a job for 2 years.
You know, it's difficult to find employment.
A year ago, I was laid off from my job.
I have to work part-time in order to make ends meet.
Sometimes I feel like I'm a failure.
Good evening. This is the worst economic recovery America has ever had.
And then there's a graphic that says, do you agree it's working? Some of the graphics over this ad, for example, after Obama says that's why I'm running for a second term, the graphic says it worked. First guy says, you know, I had to file my own personal bankruptcy. I had to close my business. The woman says, I've been looking for a job for 2 years. The graphic is 45 million Americans now on food stamps. And a woman says, a year ago, I was laid off from my job. Graphic, 23 million Americans struggling for work. Guy says, sometimes I feel like I'm a failure. The graphic over that is over 46 million Americans now in poverty, highest ever. It is a good ad, folks. It's a good ad. And it's well put together, and it illustrates the problem Obama's got. Got to take a brief time out. Sit tight. We'll be back. Open Line Friday rolls on right after this.